And we are live. We're 3 minutes early. What up, Cam Murphy? I see you. You said it's 2 a.m. in Dublin. Well, thanks for joining. So, what this is going to be, this live stream, as you can tell in the title, but there's going to be a little more. We're going to go over the fights that just happened last night at UFC Fight Night, Poirier versus Gaethje. We're going to go over all of those fights and the results, brief recap, and then also we're going to do a first look at UFC Atlantic City, which is stacked. Yo, check this card out real quick. I mean, we could start off on the main card is insane. But, I mean, there's even some good fights down here. But we'll look at the main card because all of these fights on the main card are nuts. We got Jim Miller versus Dan Hooker. That's going to be a great fight. Aljamain Sterling versus Brett Johns, both ranked bantamweights. Both of these guys are two up-and-coming. They could easily be in the top 5 of the bantamweight division, top 10 of the bantamweight division if they continue. Whoever gets a win here, man, has some serious potential. Even whoever loses here, both of these guys have some serious potential in the bantamweight division. Aljamain Sterling, he's 14-3 right now, but he could be 17-0 as he's never been beat up in his mixed martial arts career. He's never, got dominated by anybody. He's lost his 2 first fights by split decision, and then he lost his 3rd fight, which by KO to Marlon Moraes. But in that, Marlon Moraes in the post-fight speech said, "Yo, I was going to throw a kick. I didn't even mean to knee him to get that KO, but it is what it is. This, it happened." So, but before that, it's not like he was just dominating Aljamain Sterling by any stretch of the imagination. And then Brett Johns, he's 15-0, just got that rare-ass calf slicer submission in his last fight, 3-0 in the UFC. This fight is insane. And also I want to make sure I throw it out there. If the stream goes down real fast for whatever reason, my connection should be a lot better. But if it does happen to, I'll be right back. So just letting you guys know. But also, somebody said Dern's pics on Sean's Instagram story, though. I haven't saw that yet. We're going to have to check that out. Yo, that's my fucking dog. But also, moving past this fight, which is fucking an amazing fight. I've spent enough time on it, but really, this is a dope fight. I could see this fight on a pay-per-view for sure. This fight here, fucking insane to me. Thiago Santos is one of the most underrated middleweights in the game. David Branch coming out that lost to Luke Rockhold, but he had his moments, you know what I'm saying, in that fight. He had a successful UFC debut. Now he's going to be fighting another fucking... Bro, this David Branch versus Thiago Santos fight, if you think I'm not watching this card, slap yourself 3 times. What the hell? Okay, yeah, he fought in the UFC before this return. Okay, I was going to say, what, 4 fights in the UFC? What the? He's had 2 fights since coming back to the UFC. He beat Krzysztof Jotko in the split decision, who's, Krzysztof Jotko just lost his fight yesterday, I believe. But Luke Rockhold, you know what I'm saying? David Branch, he came from World Series of Fighting. I believe he was the champ over there, 2-division champion, if I'm not mistaken. Came to the UFC, got immediately thrown to the Wolves, the top 10, top 15 guys. Won his first fight, got through to the former middleweight champion Luke Rockhold, had his moments in the first, but then Luke Rockhold's grappling took over, and he got David Branch out of there. I think he may have made him tap the strikes if I'm remembering correctly, but hey, it is what it is. These are both 2 top 10 ranked guys, and this is going to be a great middleweight fight. I think I'm going to be going with the boy, De Lima Mareta, Thiago Santos, because this is my fucking dog. He's only lost like twice in his last 7 fights or something, and it was to Gegard Mousasi, which that don't fucking count because it's Gegard. And then Charlie Siller said that shit didn't show up. No, dog, it didn't show up. I'm glad you're here, but I don't know if you saw the email. It said it was a severe weather delay. So it got wrapped up in Colorado because of a severe weather delay. So it should be here Monday because today's Sunday and the mail don't run. But yeah, it said severe weather delay, so I'm expecting it tomorrow, but yeah, not yet. Okay, brother, okay. Thiago Santos. I can't wait, brother. Thiago Santos, check this out, bro. This is one of my favorite middleweights because I feel like he's so underrated. Look at all of these wins. I said 7-2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In his last 10 fights, he's 8-2. He's beaten high-level guys. Elias Theodoro, Nate Marquardt, Jack Marshman, Gerald Mershart, Jack Hermanson, Anthony Smith. He's not fighting no scrubs. He's beating beast. He lost to Eric Spicely, but he got caught in a submission, which can happen to anybody. We just saw Arjan Bular, which is probably not as high of a level overall as Thiago Santos, but still, people can get caught anytime in a fight. We could take it all the way back. But he got caught by Eric Spicely, which really slowed his momentum down after losing to Gegard Mousasi. But since then, he's back on a 4-fight winning streak, and now he's getting another opportunity to get back in the top 10 versus David Branch. I cannot wait for this fight, I'm telling you. My boy Red King God L said, keep up the good work. Yes, sir, will do. Much appreciated. 696969. Hey, his new song just dropped. Go check it out. It's called Gaethje, I think. All right, we ain't gonna go to the GOAT. No, I'm just fucking around. I'm just fucking around. But David Branch versus Thiago Santos, Aljamain Sterling versus Brett Johns. I'm in. If this is the main event and this is the co-main, you got me. But these are just, oh, you know what I'm saying? We also got, you can throw this on the card, dope ass. Just these 3 fights, but we're not even at Big Pretty Chase Sherman. This one's not as high named. You know what I'm saying? This one's not. It doesn't have the same rankings or title implications as these 2 fights, but still, it's a heavyweight fight, and it's between Chase Sherman, the meme king, and Big Pretty Justin Willis. Both of these guys have some dope personalities as up-and-coming heavyweights. These guys are making a little bit of noise, not only in their fights, but outside of their fights. Chase Sherman has his meme thing he does on social media and Twitter. He's got a meme for everything, usually pretty funny. Big Pretty, he trains with AKA, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Him and DC had some type of thing going on. Like, you know how some of them gym beefs go, but it's like they didn't really want to disclose it. But I was like, yo, what's going on here? Took a couple shots at each other, but still, this is going to be a fun heavyweight fight between Justin Willis and Chase Sherman. But, yo, the co-main event, though, this is pay-per-view co-main event type shit right here. Frankie Edgar versus Cub Swanson. Now, Frankie Edgar is coming off of a KO loss not too long ago. A lot of people believe this may be too quick of a comeback. It was his first time ever being KO'd, though. But a lot of people still feel like after you get your eggs scrambled like that, you probably shouldn't come back this soon. Might want to let your yolk settle, if you know what I'm saying. Cub Swanson, he's coming off of a submission loss to Brian Ortega. Both of these guys are coming off of finish losses to Brian Ortega. So it's going to be a great fight. This is a rematch. Frankie Edgar won the first fight pretty single-handedly. He dominated it with his grappling. Cub Swanson's not necessarily known for his submission or his grappling skills per se, like a Cub Swanson is, but still, he said ever since he lost to Frankie Edgar, he hasn't been doing anything but working on his wrestling, waiting for this rematch. So this is a big fight. Number 3, number 4th ranked featherweights coming in. One of these guys could be, this could arguably maybe a title eliminator, depending on what happens in Jeremy Stephens and Jose Aldo's next fight, depending on what happens in the title fight between Max Holloway and Brian Ortega. But either way, this is going to be a great fight next week at UFC Atlantic City between Frankie Edgar, the Answer, and Killer Cub Swanson. Now, the main event, fucking another great fight. Man, we were supposed to be going over the preview and shit, but this card is so good, bro. We had to just look at it real fast. So we're doing the preview first, it looks like. But I'm going to go over my predictions, too. Just early predictions, not my super researched predictions, nothing that I'm actually going to drop tomorrow probably, but we're going to look at it and do some early predictions. So, of course, Edson Barboza versus Kevin Lee. Both of this somewhat has title implications for one guy. Kevin Lee's a guy that's been making a lot of noise in the lightweight division. He got somewhat set back with his loss to Tony Ferguson, where he got staph infection coming into the fight. Still, you know, made it to the fight, had a bad weight cut due to the staph infection. Still had Tony Ferguson in trouble in the fight. Got a lot of respect in this fight, but ended up getting submitted by Tony Ferguson in that interim title fight. Since then, Kevin Lee hasn't really been back, but now he's coming back next week versus Edson Barboza, who in his most recent fight got, you know, brutalized by Khabib Nurmagomedov. We all remember that. Boom, boom. That shit was crazy. And so maybe is it too soon for Edson Barboza? How soon is too soon? That was 2 fights ago for Khabib, right? Like UFC 219, if I'm not mistaken. So Edson Barboza's had a little time. Kevin Lee's had more time to recover from his fight. But Kevin Lee is a guy that's been calling out Khabib for a while now. And the thing about this is we saw what Khabib did to Barboza. And we saw how, you know, when Cody Garbrandt got his title shot, what did he tell Dominic Cruz? Yo, I knocked out Takeya Mitsugaki faster than you knocked him out. And so if Kevin Lee can get a finish on Barboza, then he can say, yo, I was able to finish this dude. You couldn't. You know, it's just going to help him get his title shot that much quicker. So Kevin Lee, I'm sure, is going to be coming in here not only trying to get his spot in the top 5, but also, you know, make a statement in this fight. So we'll see what happens. Edson Barboza is going to be looking to bounce back and let everybody know I'm not the guy from that last Khabib fight. Fuck all that. So this is going to be an amazing main event. and this is just the main card we went over. And of course, I'm going to do the predictions. I'll probably do those tomorrow. And then I'm going to do also these predictions, the Fight Pass prelim predictions also. But those are probably going to be over on Patreon, still for free. But I went 4-0 this week on my main card predictions. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, let's go over this week's fights. Let's go over UFC, Glendale, Arizona, Gaethje versus Poirier. Amazing night of fights. I'll really starting all the way from the. I watched every fight starting from the early Fight Pass prelims. Starting with Luke Saunders versus Patrick Williams. Ended up being, I'm sure, a lot tougher fight than Luke Saunders probably would have wished for, but he ended up definitely getting the win by decision, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so that was a big win for Luke Saunders. He bouncing back off that loss to Andre Sukumthoth, where Luke Saunders was a favorite coming into that fight. Because he was submitted in his last fight, and he was like a 3-1 favorite coming into his fight with Andre Sukumthoth, but he got caught again. And it's like, damn, it was unexpected. Andre Sukumthoth didn't really expect it. Like his face, he was like, oh shit! Like when he knocked out Luke Saunders, like and then he went on to fight Sean O'Malley. We know, but Luke Saunders bounced back with the big win over Patrick Williams. Big win for Luke Saunders. Then we had Alejandro Perez with the second round KO over the wrestler Matthew Lopez, who was coming off of a fight with former champion. Your screen lock up on you. I don't think my screen locked up, did it? I don't think so. My shit has the green box, so I think we're good. All good, fam. Hope y'all doing good. What up, Seismic Shock? What up, brother? What up, Senko? I see you. What up, brother? All right, but this was a great fight. This was a fight that was so hard for me to predict. It was such a toss-up. Alejandro Perez, literally, he's like 28 years old, and it's 2018. So if you go to his ShareDog, his professional fight history, he's got pro fights dating back to 2005, I believe, which means he's been fighting pro for 13 years. That means Alejandro's first professional fight, which means it was probably against a grown-ass man, was when he was 15 years old. That's some Darren Till shit. This Alejandro Perez guy he's like 30 pro fights. He's not even 30 years old. Like, he's got super experience. So even though I know as a striker, a lot of people probably expected Matthew Lopez to have a lot of success with this grappling, which he did. He almost controlled the fight. That was his plan, try and take the fight down. Alejandro Perez, I was like, man, he's been fighting so long, man. He might be able to figure something out. So even though it was such a 50-50, I leaned toward Alejandro Perez, and he came through in the second round and got it done. But what a fucking great fight and great matchmaking for this fight. That was just super dope. Then we had the omoplata over here. Arjan Singh Bular came out with the Reebok turban, I believe. First fighter to ever come out with a turban to the ring. Fought Adam Wizardchik. I don't know how to say his name correctly. I'm just going to say Wizardchik. Either way, Arjan came in as the favorite. He was expected to dominate this fight with his grappling and his wrestling, but he was actually whooping homeboy's ass with his hands. He was piecing him up, and the commentators were like, yo, he don't even have to go to his wrestling. He's got the guy rocked. He can just keep using his striking. But they're talking about how as a newer fighter, it's just kind of your instincts as a wrestler. Even though you can outstrike the guy, you want to, boom, take him down as a wrestler and take him down and get your shit off. But he didn't have to do that, and he ended up actually in the second round winning the striking exchange again, going back to his wrestling, and homeboy pulled off the crazy-ass omoplata, second omoplata in UFC history, and got the second round win. Big upset for Arjan Singh Bular, who came out, man, looking for a big win, and he was dominating the fight up until that point. Then we had Yushin Okami versus Diego Lima. Yushin Okami came through with the big, used his grappling, much bigger guy, used his size, got the win over Diego Lima. Diego Lima, we saw this kind of happen to him in his last fight versus Jesse Taylor at the Ultimate Fighter finale. Jesse Taylor was a lot bigger wrestler who actually got popped by USADA after their fight, not stemming from their fight, but in his preparation for his next fight, Jesse Taylor got popped. So kind of was Diego Lima came out and was like, yo, I feel like I got robbed of a whole Ultimate Fighter $100,000 win because I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So he had to fight again, though, a much bigger guy, a grappler. And I think this fight took place at welterweight, if I'm not mistaken. I thought Lima was going up to 185, but someone said actually Yushin Okami went down to 170 for this fight. Doesn't matter where it took place. Either way, Yushin Okami was going to have the size advantage as he fought his last fight versus Ovin St. Preux, and he at 205. So even though Yushin Okami was super undersized in his last fight versus OSP, he had the size in this fight, and he used his grappling and his size to get the win over Diego Lima. which is kind of what I expected to happen in this fight in my predictions. Now, so I picked Yushin Okami. Now, this was a fight. Some people had it for Shayna Dobson. Some people had it for Lauren Mueller. The judges had a unanimous decision for Lauren Mueller. I ain't too mad at it. I kind of expected that. I think I predicted Lauren Mueller to win as well. She's 5-0 now in her. She's undefeated in her professional career. She wasn't on the Ultimate Fighter season 26, where the women's flyweight division champion was crowned, but she was an alternate. She also trains out of Alliance MMA with Dominic Cruz, Kat Zingano, and other. They said like Angie Hill. They were naming her teammates. So I knew she trained with the serious team. She was undefeated, so I knew she was going to probably really be taking this fight serious, trying not to only remain undefeated, but prove herself in the women's new flyweight division. And then Shayna Dobson coming into the fight, I found out she was a fourth grade teacher. So, and she talked about how much time that takes. And I was like, well, someone who's, has to devote that much time, even though it's not her fault or whatever. But I was just like, yo, I think Lauren Mueller's going to be really dedicated to this fight. And Shayna Dobson, she can't be as dedicated. She probably had to go teach her, even though she said the school works with her or whatever. I went with Lauren Mueller to remain undefeated, and she actually did. She got the unanimous decision. Next, we had the Gilbert Durinho Burns versus Dan Murray. Gilbert Durinho Burns was the big favorite in this fight. Came in here, got the job done. Second round KO. Dropped him against the fence. I remember, down like a sack of potatoes, I think some people were saying. Gilbert Burns, Durinho got the win. He was the favorite. Was expected. Pretty nasty KO in this. Somebody says, Seismic Shock said, this is why dirty fighters deserve zero tolerance. They fuck up so much more than their career. It's the last potential of the fighters they have beaten. Yo, what's good, full-time and full-time family, said Webb's PK Vids. Not much. What's up, brother? All right, let's go to Brad Tavares versus Krzysztof Jotko. That was the first fight of the Fox prelims. I picked Krzysztof Jotko to win this fight. It was another one that was really close, like a toss-up. But I actually thought it wasn't actually as much of a toss-up for me. But I actually, because in my fake money bankroll series, I'm pretty sure I bet pretty big on Jotko. Because he was like 18-3 coming to this fight. But still, as far as when I'm saying a toss-up, these guys had the exact same amount of fights. Jotko had one more professional fight than Brad Tavares. He had like 22 pro fights. Brad Tavares had like 21. But Jotko had been fighting higher level guys, and he's also more of an experienced striker. You know what I'm saying? He was also 18-3. Brad Tavares 16-5, and I know record doesn't mean everything, but I thought this fight was going to remain standing, and I thought Jotko was going to kind of pick Brad Tavares apart, which he wasn't able to do. Brad Tavares came in there, showed his heart, and fucking just got the job done with a third round KO. He won the first and second round. It seemed like Jotko might have been a little gun shy in the first and second round. He was maybe just filling them out. And then when he actually got aggressive in the third round, he got KO'd. So big win for Brad Tavares. That was a dope win for him. So Brad Tavares with the third round KO over Krzysztof Jotko. Wilson Hayes versus John Moraga, a really fun flyweight fight. John Moraga came through and did his thug thizzle. I think these were the two fights that I got wrong. Actually, and the next one, but yeah. So Wilson Hayes versus John Moraga, number 10 versus number 6. John Moraga came through. I didn't know he was actually at home. I believe he was fighting out of Arizona as well. But he came through, man. Yeah, he was. I remember because the crowd would give him, it seemed like he got bursts of energy. When Wilson Hayes, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, would have John Moraga's back, have him mounted or whatever good position he needed. He got the positions he needed as a Jiu-Jitsu black belt. John Moraga never gave up, never got submitted, survived these submission attempts, fucking came through. He had the body triangle was locked in. Usually, it's pretty hard to get out of it when you're just trying to burst out of it and explode out of it, but the crowd went crazy, fucking exploded out of that. He fought like he was at home and like he was the underdog in this fight, and he came through and fucking really got the job done. John Moraga did with a unanimous decision, I believe, over Wilson Hayes, which should move him to the number 6, number 7 flyweight in the world, because he was number 10 coming into this fight. Wilson Hayes was higher ranked. My guy said, yo, my wife went to school with him, and my bro-in-law was his baseball coach. Who's from, you guys, are y'all talking about one of these guys or probably someone else in the chat? I thought Wilson would win, said Tom Thier. I picked Wilson Hayes to win this fight, I believe, as well, if I'm not mistaken, honestly. I thought I picked Carlos Condit on my predictions, and I actually had fucking Cowboy Oliveira on my predictions, so I might have picked him. I'm not even sure. But John Moraga did win via unanimous decision. Yeah, damn, do I have my predictions actually over here, man? Oh yeah, I got these ones, but didn't bring my other predictions up. Okay, so we'll go back to that real fast. Where's it at? Alright, so next we had Muslim Salikov, the king of Kung Fu, fighting Ricky Rainey. Ricky Rainey was making his UFC debut. Muslim Salikov, the king of Kung Fu, is a guy that loves to go for the KO, spinning attacks to the body, spinning heel kicks, spinning hook kicks to the head, man. He likes to throw a lot of spinning stuff. He doesn't throw in volume, you know, combos or nothing like that. He likes to throw the one shot and try and get it done. And not only is it one shot, he's trying to knock you out with some spinning shit. But with that being said, he sets up the spinning shit with some power attacks, and I believe he actually won this fight with a big overhand right that connected, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember this fight too well off the top of my head. I'm thinking Ricky Rainey, his coach, he was not being super aggressive in this fight. Or no, I remember now. Yeah. They were saying like he's the longer fighter, and when he was at range to use his length, to use his reach advantage, he wasn't really firing off. Yeah, he wasn't throwing his own offense really. Wasn't using a lot of offense at the range he should have been. The commentators were saying, like, as the guy with the longer arms, he should have been trying to pick Muslim Salikov apart, and he wasn't really doing that. So it was his UFC debut. It was also on short notice for Ricky Rainey. Muslim Salikov was supposed to be fighting somebody else that had to pull out not too long ago. Ricky Rainey stepped in and lost the fight via second round KO. Tim Boetsch versus Antonio Shoeface Carlos Jr. Holy flying flipping flapjacks, dog. Antonio Carlos Jr. came in this thing looking like a savage. He came through, marched across the octagon, super confident, ready to trade with Tim Boetsch. Knew he had the grappling, advantage, but Tim Boetsch caught him with a good ass right, and he was like, "Let's go!" and started boom, 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 throwing him right back at Tim Boetsch. He was ready to strike with Tim. But coming into this fight, the commentators were talking about how I believe Antonio Carlos Jr. had wins over Jacare in jiu-jitsu. So with that being said, knowing that this guy's jiu-jitsu is literally something fierce. And so Jacare had a win over Tim Boetsch not too long ago via submission. So it was kind of expected if this fight did get to the grappling, Antonio Carlos Jr. would have his way, which he did. He ended up winning by submission. This is like his fifth win in a row. 4 of those are submissions. So big things coming for Antonio Carlos Jr. His striking seems to be coming along as well. Hasn't been a strong suit in his 1 or 2 losses he's had, but he's coming along, 5-fight winning streak. Can't wait to see his next fight, man. He came through with some intention in this fight. Just walks Tim Boetsch down. And then, man, it was a great great showing for Antonio Carlos Jr. Let's check out the main card now. Michelle Waterson and Courtney Casey. Boy, did Michelle Waterson come through and show some serious skill and will in this fight. That was dope from Michelle Waterson, the much smaller fighter in that cage. She was on her bike, having to stay the hell away from Courtney Casey, because as you could imagine, Courtney Casey's the stronger fighter. When it went to the grappling, even though Michelle Waterson had some skill, Courtney Casey was kind of just out overpowering her because she was so damn big, it looked like. And then Courtney Casey's shots, when she would crack Michelle Waterson, snap. She was just... Man, that was like a bigger fighter versus a smaller fighter. So the commentator said it looked like she might have had 15 pounds on her. Michelle Waterson could easily be fighting at atom weight 105 pounds. She came in here showed her grit. She got 4 takedowns in the fight. Yo, every time she got a takedown, it was like, okay, karate hottie. That's what you got to do to get this win, too, because Courtney Casey, she... coming into her history, coming into this fight, she isn't known for her grappling. She's more of a striker, so she's been taken down in some fights, and Michelle Waterson has scored takedowns. So if she was going to win this fight, she was definitely going to have to get a couple of those takedowns. But honestly, when I did my prediction and I predicted Michelle Waterson to win, I didn't know Courtney Casey was so much bigger. But she was, and Michelle Waterson came through, bro. Survived some triangle chokes, survived some armbar attempts, survived a couple different submission attempts. And then at the end of the fight, Courtney Casey had the armbar in that was actually locked in, and fucking the bell rang. She was about to win via submission. Courtney Casey was literally about to win, but it was the very last armbar attempt that Michelle Waterson survived to the bell. and Michelle Waterson got her hand raised, which I thought Michelle Waterson won the decision. I honestly did. But I do think she got saved by the bell at the very end when that last armbar was locked in. But that was a fucking great fight by Michelle Waterson. She did her thug thizzle to get that win. And with the UFC's, there's been talks and rumors of the UFC opening up that 105-pound women's division. Michelle Waterson might be the fucking champion of that joint as far as I'm concerned. There's one or two fighters that are in the UFC right now that should be fighting down there, maybe more. But, yo, Michelle Waterson, if she fights at 105, that's going to be fun to watch. Going on to Nan Jones for show. Yo, versus Marvin Vettori. You know, at first, going into the fight, I was like, yo, this dude really is like John Jones. This nigga even got the eye pokes popping off, you know? I was like, he really is trying to be John Jones. But that was, you know, there was a lot of eye pokes, even in the main event tonight. You know, it's something to do with the UFC gloves. I guess they're grappler friendly, so whenever you're trying to parry or whatever, you're fucking poking niggas in the eyes. Definitely was happening in Israel Adesanya's fight versus Marvin Vettori a couple of times. But then, I had Israel Adesanya win in the first 2 rounds. I did have that. The first round was closer than the second round, a lot closer. First round, I mean, if someone would have scored it for Marvin Vettori, I mean, I hear your argument, but I had it for Israel Adesanya. And I thought it was, by the end of the fight, I for sure thought Israel Adesanya won a unanimous decision. So I was kind of surprised it was a split decision because I had 2 rounds for him. But one judge actually saw the fight for Marvin Vettori, so it was a split decision. But I got to admit, that third round from Marvin Vettori kind of dropped Israel Adesanya's stock just a little bit. And even if it wasn't the fight in general, it was the commentary during the fight, because they had Bisping saying he looked like a duck out of water. They had the other commentary crew saying like he didn't really, I think Dominic Cruz, like he really is showing he wasn't doing the right things to get off of his back. So like he's really gonna have to train some jiu-jitsu to start being known as an elite fighter, or people are going to keep trying to expose him. So unless the UFC matches this dude up with some, you know, some great matchups, as far as you don't want to see this guy get ragdolled. But the thing is, it's not like he's completely lost all hope at all, because he's got great takedown defense. But if you do get him taken down toward the third round, he showed he had a little, it wasn't this, he doesn't really use his skill to get up. He more uses his size or his power to get up. Like he wasn't using the right technique to get up. But in the first and second round, he's still able to get back up, you know, if he can get to the fence or whatever. But he doesn't have the skill down on the ground, so his stock dropped a little, in my opinion, Israel Adesanya's. But at the same time, he won the fight, which is going to give him time until his next fight to work on those things. But I just wonder, as a fan, how much time it's going to take for him to fix those things in his grappling that, you know, the commentary crews were talking about. Because that was really interesting to me, to see him on his back like that. And, yeah, Marvin Vettori was definitely getting the better of him down there. So that was interesting. But Israel Adesanya has been handling it like a fucking champion on Twitter, dog. He's like, I seen he tweeted like, I am not impressed with my performance. And he put like, in my GSP voice, he was sharing some stuff talking about, like, somebody was calling, I was going to go to it. Fuck it, we will in a little bit. Someone like said he was channeling this inner John Jones with the eye pokes. He reshared that. Like, he's a pretty funny dude. You know, he's got a funny personality. He's really confident, got the trash talk. But with that comes a lot of a target on your back, and everybody that's targeting this guy is probably going to be trying to take him down and get him where he's uncomfortable from here on out, because he has a kickboxing background. So we'll see what happens with Israel Adesanya. Definitely looking forward to it. I don't know, but in my opinion, he won the fight, but I think his stock dropped just a little, not a lot, just a little. Because he was on the way to being like, Anderson Silva, John Jones, holy shit, this guy's fucking crazy, bada, boom, 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 boom. Then he was on his back, and it's like, even though he won, it's like, and it's a split, kind of, even though I thought it was unanimous, just a little. Still got my eye on his next fight, still got a lot of potential, but he knows Sean O'Malley. You know, I'm just fucking around, but Sean O'Malley does got that jitch. That nigga throw a flying armbar, he'll try and lock up the triangle down there, he'll get up, you know, he got the skill to kill, to pay the bills. Now let's move to the co-main event. Alex Oliveira versus Carlos Condit. This was, I thought I had Carlos Condit winning the fight. I don't know why. It went a while since I did my predictions, since when I was watching the fight. Maybe it's just because Carlos Condit's a legend. I thought I gave him the nod. But in my predictions, I actually picked out Cowboy Oliveira, and I think it was because his grappling. Carlos Condit's not necessarily known for his grappling. This was a short notice opponent. He was preparing for Matt Brown, the Immortal, who wasn't probably going to be trying to take him down or submit him. So when Alex Cowboy Oliveira stepped up and took the fight, I'm sure he was, you know, that's how he ended up winning the fight, a submission in the second round. So Carlos Condit now, I believe, lost his third fight in a row. He was going to retire after fighting Damian Maia. He said he did retire in the octagon, actually. Came back and fought Neil Magny at UFC 219. Didn't go his way. Came back here, got submitted again. He didn't get submitted in his last fight, but he did versus Damian Maia. So Carlos Condit, we'll see what happens. Maybe somebody mentioned this idea, him versus Matt Brown retirement fight. Both of these guys have talked about retiring. So they were originally scheduled to fight. Matt Brown said he would still love to face Carlos Condit. So with that being said, maybe we see Carlos Condit versus Matt Brown. Maybe we don't see Carlos Condit back, but he didn't retire or anything in the octagon, so I think we see him back one more time. And maybe it's versus Matt Brown, and hopefully there's no injuries that time. Big win for Cowboy Oliveira, though. This guy is low-key underrated. At first, like, I didn't really like his antics after the war. I mean, I still don't. But whenever he, like, missed weight versus Will Brooks and then, like, knocked him out and fucking gave him the suck it after he missed weight, I was like, yo, what the fuck? I did not like that at all. But going into that fight and after, I really do like Cowboy Oliveira. He's a fighter's fighter, man. He's a fucking beast. He's coming in there, and hey, if he didn't like Will Brooks, that kind of explains it. Like, yo, it was fuck you. I'm cool with everybody else, but he did some shit that I just don't fuck with Will Brooks. I get it. So with that being said, I'm really a big fan of Cowboy Oliveira, man. He lost to the other Cowboy. He lost to Yancy Medeiros in a Fight of the Year contender. Back and forth war. He almost knocked out Yancy. Yancy came back, knocked out him. Amazing fight. Yancy came back a little too soon, it looks like, and fought the other Cowboy, and, you know, Cowboy Cerrone knocked him out. Cowboy Oliveira took a little more time off since that war with Yancy, and he fought Carlos Condit. So he was also on short notice, though, because this was a huge opportunity for Cowboy Oliveira that might not have been presented to him if it wasn't on short notice. So he came in, capitalized on it on short notice. Huge win for Cowboy Oliveira. Can't wait for his next fight. He just bumped himself into the top 15 in the welterweight division. That's going to be some dope stuff. How about, I mean, there's been a lot of guys, I don't know, first person I thought of was USMAN just because nobody else wants to fight him. But Cowboy Oliveira is going to definitely take a little more time off. And honestly, I don't know if that's the fight. You know, Usman's about to fight Ponzinibbio. We'll see what happens with that. So I'm just thinking of some of the top 15. Leon Edwards, there's one. Leon Edwards versus Cowboy Oliveira. That's a guy that was looking for a fight. I'm thinking of some of the top 15 guys that aren't booked. We know Till's booked with Wonder Boy. We know all RDA, Covington. We know all of these guys are starting to get booked. But, yeah, Cowboy Oliveira, I'm looking forward to his next fight. Great performance by him. This was an entire great night of fights, to be honest. But also we had Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje, fight of the night. Fourth round KO for Dustin Poirier. Those fucking leg kicks, though. Those leg kicks, though, family. What are we really talking about? Justin Gaethje, man. I hate seeing him fucking lose, and it's not because it's not like I'm rooting against Poirier or Alvarez. Both of those dudes are fucking beasts. I fucking love them as fighters too. But Justin Gaethje, the fact that he goes out there and we know he's putting it on the line for us, it's like, you know, I kind of like, you know, I feel like I owe him a little bit or something, like, you know, a debt of gratitude. Like, yo, maybe I don't, because boy, I'll say this: if it was me, I wouldn't be fighting like Gaethje. You got me fucked up. I'd be fighting the smart route. I'd be thinking about brain damage. Yo, if I was, I'm not a fighter, because nigga, I wouldn't even want to fight against Justin Gaethje. Bro. If I saw Justin Gaethje kicking niggas' legs like he did versus Alvarez and Poirier and Johnson. Oh, no, I'm not trying to have arthritis next week. Fuck that. Poirier's probably walking on crutches and his shit ain't even broke. That shit don't sound fun. You know who I don't want to be right now? Dustin Poirier's legs. I know Dustin Poirier got the W. He's happy. But that nigga's legs are mad right now. What the fuck? Yo, I don't even want to fight Gaethje with them leg kicks. That's what those are like. Whoo! That's crazy. He's going to break somebody's leg like Anderson Silva. It's going to be for a boom. Yo, and Dustin Poirier, he's not even a quitter. It ain't even like he was gonna quit. This motherfucker, Justin Gaethje, breaks people down. It ain't about Eddie Alvarez being a quitter. It's not about Dustin Poirier being a quitter. It's about, yo, my legs are about to give out on me. I got to get him out of here soon, or my legs are out of here. It's not. If I could fight sitting up, I would. But as of right now, yo, these legs, the legs were about to give out. That man, Justin Gaethje's a fucking warrior. So is Dustin Poirier for standing in there. He showed his will and his grit to be able to take them leg kicks and never go down and never give up. That shows you how serious these fighters are about this shit, man. And how much, you know what I'm saying? Because that's crazy, dog. I know this. Whoever fights Justin Gaethje next, yo, you better be able to check leg kicks. Or you better not sign the dotted line. I'm surprised so many people do take the fight with Justin Gaethje. That shit don't sound fun, dog. Would you rather take one punch from Francis Ngannou in the dome? Or would you rather fucking take like 20 Gaethje leg kicks to each? Bop, bop, bop. That's a good question. Fuck, I'm thinking about my legs right now, and I'm got arthritis just thinking about that shit, bro. Anyways, Dustin Poirier got the 4th round KO. Fucking great fight of the night, man. So that was the recap of the last night's UFC Gaethje versus Poirier, man. Great fights. Those are the results. That was a great card. And next, as we just went over, the next week's card, UFC Atlantic City, bro. Look how stacked this main card is. Fucking Sterling Johns, Branch Santos, Edgar Swanson, Barboza Lee, Miller, Hooker, Willis Sherman. We can look at these fights too. Alex Garcia versus Ryan LaFair. Alex Garcia is coming off of a win over Muslim Salikov, who just got that W. Babulatov versus Uka Saksaki. Magomed Babulatov is the guy that John Maraca KO'd, I believe, and he was a big underdog in that fight. Man, yeah, so these guys, man, there's some rankings in that fight, but I know these guys, probably not everybody else. Corey Anderson, Patrick Cummins, that's a fun fight. Leslie Smith versus Aspen Ladd. Whoa! That's under the radar. Holy shit, that's a fucking fight right here, bro. I did not expect this to be. Aspen Ladd is a beast, bro. She trains with, like, Valentina Shevchenko and Rose Namajunas and them, if I'm not mistaken. Anybody that trains with them is coming in here to fuck shit up. But Leslie Smith, she's a savage, a pioneer. She's the peacemaker, but not in the octagon. This should be higher on the card. But Leslie Smith's got that Project Spearhead, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's the one starting to make a union. So they might got her on Fight Pass. They don't want her on, you know, on the main event. Hey, everybody. Fighters' rights are where it's at. We don't get paid shit. I'm hungry. Yeah, keep her on Fight Pass. No. I'm just saying that is a hell of a fight. That's going to make me have to watch this whole card early. I might not have necessarily tuned in for the Merab versus Ricky Simon fight, even though this is going to be a fun fight as well. I don't know if we're still here. We got the red bar. All right, we're coming back. All right, we got the green bar. I didn't even have to reset it. We're right back in here. But, yeah, that's going to be a great fight, bro. That Leslie Smith. All right, now we're back. A little bit of lag. We got the green box, though. That's going to be a great fight. Leslie Smith versus Aspen Ladd. I cannot wait, bro. That's going to be a fun fight. This actually going to be fun. Merab coming out of Ally Quinta, Aljamain Sterling, Matt Serra, Ray Longo camp. You know what I'm saying? Weidman. Merab's coming from that camp. In his last fight, he got Merab, according to Matt Serra. Pretty fun little line, but I actually think Merab might have, I mean, I think I had the fight for I wasn't too mad at the split decision, but you can understand why his coach would be, I wasn't mad at the results of that fight. He's going to be fighting Ricky Simon, who's one of Dana White's Tuesday night contenders. That's what it means when they're grayed out like this on the UFC website. They're a Dana White's Tuesday night contender. So, looking forward to that. You know, I feel like I'm not Dana White, but I still feel like the Dana White's Tuesday night contender series guys are kind of like, not my babies, but I'm kind of rooting for them because I watched them come up on the Tuesday Night Contender Series. So, but at the same time, that's going to be a fun fight. And then we're opening up the card with Keita Nakamura versus Tony Martin. Hey, that's another dope fight, man. So, I mean, if I make it to that fight, which I should, I'll try and start at this fight. But I got to be here by the fucking Leslie Smith-Aspen Ladd fight. Got to be here by that time. That's going to be a great whole card. I'm going to do the predictions on that tomorrow. I'm sure I'll get all of those done. You also know, like, the MMA hours tomorrow. So while everybody's watching that, I'll probably be working on these predictions while I'm listening to it. So, other than that, we'll go over a couple of MMA topics. So that was the recap of last night. That was the preview of next week's fights. We're going to go over a couple of news topics, and then I'll, talk to you guys in the chat, and then we'll wrap it up and get out of here. So let's check out Justin Gaethje made Dustin Poirier dig deep. There was something I saw over here that I actually want to check out. I think it's over here. Nick Diaz hints at UFC return. Poirier wants lightweight title fight. We heard that. He called out Khabib. But Khabib, he's going to be out for a while. Khabib responded. He just said, yo, great night by two great fighters. He didn't really respond to the call out and say, let's go, Poirier. But he said, great fight. Brad Tavares said, oh, yeah, Michael Bisping and Brad Tavares got into it a little bit. Vitor Belfort, MMA legend, says Floyd Mayweather would lose to 14-year-olds. Hey, if they're well-rounded, 14-year-old, well-rounded mixed martial artists, they would definitely hold their own against a Floyd Mayweather, that's for sure. Especially if they're, I don't know, a bigger guy with some wrestling, some solid wrestling. Floyd would be. All right, let's get into Brad Tavares versus fucking Michael Bisping. But, and I don't know if he's talking about multiple, but either way, man, unless you unify the rules or do some modifying of some rules, Floyd don't want to smoke in the UFC. No, I thought this was about to be the actual video. Supposedly, Michael Bisping and Brad Tavares got into it a little bit or something, but Brad Tavares did call out Michael Bisping maybe for his retirement fight. But he called him out for UFC 226, I believe, and Michael Bisping, I think, might be trying to fight at the UFC Liverpool card. So, let's check out the weekly grind. John Jones said, come get me, baby, to Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier said, I would like to fight him one last time, before I retire. John Jones said, come get me, baby. Let's see what this is.
We thought we would give you guys a little bit of local flavor
a few days early. So there's actually a movement to make the chimichanga the official state food of Arizona. We're going to play a game of chimichanga chowdown. Now, whoever can eat the most chimichangas.
Alright, I don't want to watch that whole thing because they're probably going to fucking take my fucking... You watch that clip, boom. So it might already be too late. They might already be taking my ad money as we speak just for playing that little clip. Conor McGregor said it's only a lesson if you learn from it. And I ain't learned shit. No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. He said, and I learn every day. It's only a lesson if you learn from it. And I learn every day just sitting there like, you know what? I probably shouldn't have threw the dolly. I probably should have fucking picked up the nearest car and like the Incredible Hulk. I don't know. I'm just saying. Now, Conor McGregor looks like he's reflecting. Conor McGregor's learned. Give Conor McGregor a break. All right. And he's embracing the family life. Family man. How can you... Yo, when I seen this picture first, I was like, Conor McGregor looks like a fucking... He already looks like a iconic figure. Like his face, it doesn't look like a human face. It looks like a Mount Rushmore thing, like it's already etched in history. Like the shit he does seems like it's out of a movie. He seems like a movie figure. You know what I'm saying? Like an action figure, not a human. Like Jax Teller, Conor McTeller, like the transporter type shit. Like the throwing dollies at buses, fucking rush. What? Yo, he don't even just look like a normal person anymore. That's how it does. That's not how it feels. Oh, snaps, Nick Diaz. Hey, we've been seeing Nick Diaz hinting at returning. We've been seeing this. We've seen him fucking Reebok gear. We've seen Dana White said Nick Diaz is coming back where we left off. He's in there getting them rounds in, bro. I'm thinking we're going to see Nick Diaz versus GSP 2. That's what Freddie Roach said. We've had other hints about that. GSP mentioned it a little bit. I think we see Nick Diaz GSP 2. I'm down with it. Maybe 165 inaugural title. Now that's a groundbreaking fight. I don't like, the thing about the 125-pound women's inaugural title or any title that they make on the Ultimate Fighter, it's like the champion comes out and they're like not a UFC fighter that's known as a champion. So it's like, right now, look at Nico Montano. She's got like 7 professional fights, maybe 8 professional fights. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to respect them as a champion until they fight like a Valentina Shevchenko. And until that point, but on the flip side, if you had Nick Diaz and GSP fight for the title, whoever wins that fight, we're GSP. If he wins the belt, we know he's the champion. If Nick Diaz wins the 165-pound belt, yeah, we believe he's a champion. So I would love for that. If the UFC does break that division in, that would be a great point for it. Or maybe they just do it no belt. Fucking let's get it on rematch Nick Diaz GSP 2. Either way, it looks like Nick Diaz is coming back. We know Mike Perry was one of the first to welcome him back. Ronda Rousey, Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Okay, I see you, Ronda Rousey. Wouldn't mind doing a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of WWE wrestling with that Ronda Rousey right there. Look at Ronda Rousey. She ain't fucking around over there in the WWE. Habib champ, Habib's pops wearing the belt. He did some dance, bro, at the airport when Habib arrived. It was pretty dope. Made me wish I had a dad. No, I'm just playing, but it was a pretty dope moment. They had like a bunch of dancers. The chicks had on like some Game of Thrones dresses. Some dudes fucking boom, 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 boom. Like they was fucking getting down. Then Habib's dad came out getting it. I promise, if that's on here, I'm playing it. I don't give a damn if about the ass. I'm telling you, he was hitting that shit. Look like tap spinning, tap dancing, but he was getting it. This dude's a proud father right here, man. Got the belt on his shoulder. You can't even be mad. Habib champ. Habib Nurmagomedov got a little video. Oh, speaking of we're dope. You know, now that we got a new router, I still got to get my internet upgraded, it looks like. But now that we got a new router, I don't have to keep Xing it out. We kind of just come back. That's pretty dope. But I was going to say, Zabit Nurmagomedov posted to his social media him eating some tiramisu. A little bit of a joke.
Ты куда лезешь?
Я к вам не лезу, это вы ко мне лезете. Запах же есть в комнате.
They fucking hiding the dessert from Habib. He's done fighting, man. He can eat it now. Watching a little bit of soccer, a little bit of football, if you will. It's my favorite part about soccer. Mighty Mouse in this joint.
Come on. Come on, give Daddy another chance. Come on, just takes once. Yeah, just like that.
This is where he's gonna fucking celebrate and rip his shoulder in half. I've seen him do that like 3 times, bro.
Come on, give Daddy a chance. Come on. Let me please the crowd. The crowd wants blood.
I swear to God, I thought he hurt his shoulder. I thought he hurt his shoulder, bro. I thought it was his shoulder. Valentina Shevchenko, the future wife of no, I'm just playing, the future 125-pound champion in the UFC's women's division. Yo, leg meet, April 2018. Now she's about to shoot some shit up. The Bullet. Vitor Belfort playing a little bit of soccer. I don't know who this is. Damasio. I don't know Damasio Page. That's that. Ooh, if you haven't saw this, yo, that's Tony Ferguson's leg injury. That's crazy. From tripping on a cord. This dude tripped on a cord and injured his shit so bad they had to give, I mean, well, it's from the surgery, clearly. That's not from tripping on a cord. But I'm saying, you had to get a surgery that was that fucking extensive from tripping on a cord. That's crazy. Fuck. Some people say you might not ever be the same. I heard some people say that. He said, I hate sitting on the sidelines, but belt or no belt, I won't allow that to define me. Your fans have no manners. You're lucky I wasn't able to compete due to injury since you like to talk in the cage. I would have made you verbally tap, left you crying for Poppy in the third. What a paper chump. Eat it, casuals. Eat it, casuals. Yo, he's taking shots at Habib, but I heard Habib saying, like, yo, even Tony Ferguson, you got injured. Why you talking shit? But Tony Ferguson's firing back, man. He ain't got nothing better to do. Shit, you know what I'm saying? He's fucking Twitter fingers are itching right now. I mean, he's injured now. Tony Ferguson's probably doing some jiu-jitsu and shit. You know what I'm saying? Off his back, probably. I don't know what that dude's crazy, but Tony Ferguson, man. Hopefully he can come back healthy. What? That ain't no joke right there. That leg injury. That's how that looks after that. After surgery, Yoni on J-Check hitting the beach. She's like, yo, fuck it. I'm retired. She's living that retired life. You know what I'm saying? She's got to figure shit out. No, I'm just playing. But I'm just saying, what is Joanna going to do, though? I mean, because at 115, Rose just did her thing. So maybe Joanna takes a break, waits for Rose to lose to someone else, if she does. But what if Rose is the queen at 115 for a while? Then Joanna, what's she do? She can't fight for that title, kind of like Wonderboy. Maybe she's in a Wonderboy position right now. That's where Joanna's at right now. She's in a Wonderboy Thompson position. Like, no one else can really beat her in the division, as far as we know. But she can't beat the champion. So, it's like, but the thing about her is if you move up divisions, you got Valentina Shevchenko waiting on you. So, Joanna on J-Check's in an interesting position. Probably a good time to just chill, spend a little bit of your championship money on the beach. No worries. You know what I'm saying? Let's check out this video. Alright, a little bit of beach fun. Hey, I saw this. I'm glad this came up. Look at my nigga Sean O'Malley, dog. This almost deserved its own fucking video. Check this shit out, bro. One leg. Yo, my nigga got one leg. He jumped up and hit a knee with this one leg, landed, spinning back. You think someone can fuck with Sean O'Malley in the UFC in the world, Craig? No, I was fucking around, but yo, one more time. We got encore. Just what? He's hopping on one leg and he jumps up and knees some shit somehow. How? Just fucking subhuman, bro. Subhuman. Did I tell you guys that's pretty much like my best friend? I'm just fucking. TJ Dillashaw with the baby. Let's go, little TJ. Hey, I ain't even mad. Let's go, man. Champion TJ. I'm happy for TJ because he got his belt back. After everything he had to go through to get his belt back, he got it right before he had his son. That is so fucking, you know what I'm saying? That's just picture perfect for what he had to go through. Like, hey, you know what? I'll fight TJ again because I really, at this point, my guy can be content. He's got his son. He got the belt back. If I lose, I still got, nigga, whenever my baby was born, you know, he still had to right beside him. That was like a crucial moment. Both of them were having babies, like, right before the fight. That was just a dope moment. But, yeah, this is dope to see TJ Dillashaw, man, with the family. He's going to be fighting Cody Garbrandt in the rematch at UFC 227. Uh-oh, Cody, no love. Hey. I don't even want to think about what that dog would do to it. I'm not even going to speak it into the air. But that dog does look like a beast. A straight fucking beast. That's dope. Canelo Garbrandt. Hey, I see. That's a cool little name. He named him Canelo for real. If that's really his name, that's pretty fucking dope. That's pretty dope. I mean, I don't know much about Canelo, or you know what I'm saying, but that's some cool stuff. Canelo must be a beast for Cody to be naming his son after him. Tyron Woodley with his sons, I think, are like undefeated. So Daniel Cormier and Tyron Woodley's sons are gonna be fucking future champions. One of my favorite photos. I was so proud of him this week. I'm pure heart of these kids are mine. I fight for them in the future. Thanks for being my driving force. Can't even be mad at that, man. Fuck around and shed a tear for Tyron Woodley. That's why I fuck with Tyron Woodley throughout. You know, even though people say I don't like the complaining, you know, I get it. I get it. You don't have to like him. But I fuck with Tyron Woodley. He's a cool dude. Aside from all of that, you know, I don't agree with everything he says, but you don't have to. Daniel Cormier, a lot of these people. But yeah, Tyron Woodley, man, he's a cool dude. I don't like, you know, when I see him on TMZ, it's a little cringe. But Tyron Woodley's a pretty fucking cool dude. MACKENZIE DERN, hey. Somebody said, I'm going to have to check out Sean O'Malley's Instagram story. They said, did I see? We're going to have to check that out, like, right now. Let me go to Sean O'Malley's Instagram, bro. Oh, I wonder if it's too late to see the story. Let me pull up my Instagram. Wait, I don't want to hear that. I'm going to take my shit, my money.
Fuck this guy.
He said, fuck this guy. Hey, yeah, go subscribe to Sean O'Malley on Twitch too. But yeah, it must be too late for a story. But someone said I'd see the picture on his Instagram story. But yeah, man, he had a bird's eye view. I know what you're saying. Pretty good picture. Pretty dope little picture. You know what I'm saying? Backdrop, the natural grayscale. I see. The black heart. Oh shit. Uriah Faber. What is, bro? I ain't even clicked play yet. I'm just gonna tell you, this looks like some infomercial. This looks like some infomercial for some, what's that movie? Dodgeball. You remember that Dodgeball movie? Dodge, dive, dip, duck, and dodge. 5 Ds of dodgeball. This dude looks like he's about to.
So homies, your boy Creeper from Cholo Feed. You know I'm in Sacktown, I gotta come through the homie Uriah Faber spot to show love up to the fitness right, girl. Let's go see what's up. You say you ain't gonna fight in UFC 4, you're gonna fight in UFF. Ugly fools for long days. Oh, that's messed up, fool. You said that. You'll be at your family barbecue and your older auntie's there, fool. She's wearing a mini skirt and she shouldn't be wearing those things, homie, because she has a lot of extra skin on her kneecaps, hey? And you start thinking about everything negative in the world, homie, and her kneecaps look like turkey necks, fool. And it's like, oh man, so you get all sad, eh? Trim that extra skin off those kneecaps, hey? Like, not for reals, but like metaphorically, homie, in real life. And just stay focused and keep it moving, eh? Alright? Because that's what's up right there. Alright. Hey, that's what's up right there. That's my homie. Alright, homie, well, I'll just be right here if you need me, alright? That's what's up. I know you're practicing.
That was up, I didn't practice. Oh, I almost felt wrong watching that because I really don't think that guy's Mexican. I look more Mexican than that guy. I think that guy was like Indian. I promise, bro. That's crazy. That was fucking hilarious, though. Hey, what's up? Oh, that was fucking second trimester Misha Tate. Oh, snaps. Look at Misha Tate. With the cupcake. Wait, somebody made a good joke. She has like a something in the oven. A cupcake. I don't remember the joke. Either way. Look at Misha Tate. PG-13 channel. PG-13 channel. Got a little ducky and shit.
He's scared of it. You little weenie. Come here. It's okay. Are you scared of the chick? It's good.
Dog was like, nah, I'm cool. That's hilarious. He couldn't finish Iaquinta or Barboza. Khabib isn't out wrestling me, out grappling me, overpowering me, or out conditioning me. He literally has no way to win. Yeah, I agree. I believe Ben Askren will probably beat Khabib until we see Khabib in there with a welterweight. You know what I'm saying? A welterweight grappler. But that's just because the size advantage I would assume Ben Askren has. It'll still be a great fight, you know what I'm saying, for like wrestling fans. Or if you're, you know, not heterosexual. Alright. Oh. Yo, Colby Covington took it one step further. I think that's what this is.
Out here with the Queens of Chaos. As soon as I kicked Woodley's door and he went running for the foothills like the little bitch he is. He sure as hell ain't coming back after I dunked my nuts on RDA's head live from Chicago, Illinois in the United Center on pay-per-view. Don't miss it, snowflakes. I'm taking what's rightfully mine, the UFC welterweight title. There's nothing you can do to stop it. Let me just say, it's easier to hop on than it is to hop off. So join the Colby train now.
Colby, can we get in the jacuzzi now?
Yeah,
He said it's easier to hop on than it is to hop off. So get on the Colby train now. Oh, this is something else, man. Colby Covington, he's turning it up a notch. He's switching his angle, it looks like. He's going with the misogynistic angle. He's trying to piss those people off. But, hey, man, it is what it is. He's got some beautiful Brazilian babes, y'all. I couldn't. Some chick came in the comments, bro. I was like, you remember that video I did on Colby Covington? I was like, beautiful Brazilian. Damn, I can't think of a word that starts with a B that, you know, means a female. So I said bitches. They're like, you could have said babes. You could have said beauties. I'm like, damn, those didn't come to my head. Guess I've been listening to too much hippity-hoppity, man. But look, these are the queens of chaos. Can't even be mad. Do y'all really think Colby Covington's, you know what I'm saying? Do you think those are really the queens of chaos? Or you think he's trolling on this? I ain't mad. But, hey, one thing I did want to say, didn't it look like he's in Brazil here? Is Colby Covington in Brazil? Yeah, someone said escorts. That's a very real possibility. If you seen when they were in the hot tub, like, he said, let's get in the hot tub at the end of this. In the hot tub, like, he went to, like, give one of them low-key a motorboat, but he kind of, like, faked it. So, yeah, I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it. I think he's just trying to piss people off. Colby Covington ain't got those. He ain't got those. Colby Covington ain't got those. Hey, he might, though. I ain't mad at him if he does. Sage Northcutt. Oh, shit. Is he starting the street race and shit? No, I'm just playing. What is this, though? What's all this white shit in the picture? This is some white people shit, clearly, that I don't know what's going on. Dope-ass truck in the background. See Sage Northcutt, but I don't know what's going on in this picture, though. Up in the mountains, check the snow out. My lean body is turning into a slushy. Okay, Sage. Okay, Sage. Paige Van Zandt on Good Morning America. Uh-oh. I think she's got her a book coming out, Rise. Is this whole book about her being raped, bro? I think that's what it's about. I seen, like, headlines. I didn't really want to do a story on it. Like, yo, everybody, Paige Van Zandt's coming out and opening up about the time she was raped when she was, like, in high school. Like, you know, but she's getting a lot of fucking... I didn't know she's on Good Morning America. She's dropping a book. I think the whole book might be about that. That's crazy, but it's good timing. You know, she's got her little Me Too story. Turn that joint into the book. She's actually... I ain't even mad if you got it. You know, if it happened, fuck it. Capitalize off of it. Shit. Got hella... She's about to get... Damn. Paige Van Zandt's one of the biggest stars in the UFC. Dancing with the Stars. Now she's got a book. Good Morning America. Paige Van Zandt's about to transcend the UFC, you know what I'm saying? But, hey, it might be about that time because she just fought at 125 pounds. She's not going back to 115 because the weight cut. So, really kind of got to, you know, wonder what's she going to do in the UFC from here on out. The 125-pound division, she would have to really grind it out, which is probably what she'll do if she does come back, fight at 125. But, shit, she's dropping books and going on TV shows. She might not be back. Who knows? She might be doing commentary or something I think she might have been interested in actually. And she's got a man. Hey, maybe she's going to have a baby next. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised. Paige Van Zandt starting to do her thug. These are very successful. Becoming a very successful from fighting. Can't be mad at that. But you can't scroll past it. Uh-oh. Will Brooks. We were talking about him earlier. Beck Rawlings coming somebody out. The lack of professionalism in our sport encourages this type of behavior out of some MMA fans. For Paige Van Zandt to speak on something such as this and make herself vulnerable, Paskar shows a great deal of bravery. Some fight fans are absolutely disgusting humans. It takes so much strength and courage to open up about this. I'm sure she has helped and inspired a lot of victims by doing so. Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. But I think that just comes... It's not just fight fans that are assholes. There's fucking... fans of the Disney Channel that are assholes. There's a lot of assholes out there, especially when you get on the internet and, you know, you kind of hide behind whatever. But, yeah. definitely shout out to, you know, Paige Van Zandt for, you know what I'm saying. I don't know the full. I haven't read the book. I'm not gonna lie and say I've read the book, but I think that is what it's about. So yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like Usher. The Assassin Baby, Brandon Moreno at the Lego shop. Yo, this should be the last nigga at the Lego shop. No, who's that one dude? The Boss Baby. Oh, some of y'all know who I'm talking about. I can't think of his name. Like, it starts with an E. But this dude, he looks like one of the. He is really young, only 23. But how do you look like a young 23-year-old? This nigga looks like a young 23-year-old. I would card him if he tried to buy a candy cigarette. No, I'm just playing. But if you walk up with a Lego bag, I ain't selling it to you if you got ID, bro. I'm sorry. I think it's fake, a fake ID. I'm just pretty cool little thing. I don't know what he's saying in the caption. I don't speak that. Dan Henderson out here living life like a badass, true American out here on the chopper. Got the, you know, rich people fucking caravans in the back. Looks like he's having some fun. Can't be mad. He said, had an awesome day today. It's bike week. All right, that's enough of fucking this. We're about to get into the comments, and we are about to get out of here. So, Cowboy Cerrone. Uh-oh, he having a baby? Mama Bear? Whoa, okay, Cowboy. That's dope. Congratulations to Cowboy. Is that his first kid? I'm not sure, but if so, that is fucking dope. It's about time to see Cowboy. You know, he's been making his money, fucking putting on shows for everybody, anytime, anywhere, any place. Now, seeing, you know, I can already imagine Cowboy. He's going to be, you know, one of them dads teaching us how to, yo, that's going to be super fun. Cowboy's going to be a dope dad. Going to be fun as fuck. So, yeah, congratulations there. Let's check out the chat before we get out of here. Scroll down fast, see if there's really anything. Yeah, that's about the end of it. Finding Nam, Puncher King. Don't know what the hell that is. And then Alistair Overing with a little bit of a video. Alright, so with that being said, we'll just go to the other mode. And we're going to just, from here on out, fuck with the chat, answer a little bit of questions if there are any, some stuff like that. And then, yeah, we're going to close it down and get out of here. So, what up, family? We got Stamina MC in here. Definitely Rent-A-Cooch. EBS Rock said, the bus incident reminded me of when the shit goes down backstage in WWE. Yo, I seen some other people saying that, like Vince McMahon and... But no, you have a great point. Like, that shit used to be so dope to me, bro. But yeah, like Vince McMahon, Stone Cold, the limo thing where, yeah, it kind of reminds you of that, but a little different because, well, actually, no, people do. Y'all remember, like, they used to, y'all remember the ECW. There's WCW and then there's the off-brand. They used to slam people on, like, thumbtacks. And so, yeah, they probably broke some glass around it. So, yeah, but if that dolly would have came through the window, man, yeah, but I see what you're saying. It reminds you of that. Cool the Fool said, I seriously dislike Sage. You must be a bad person. No, how can you dislike Sage, bro? Sage is like, you know, everybody's innocent little brother. Maybe Borg and Chiesa razored their faces. Someone said Dark Renaissance. No, Ray Borg didn't have a he didn't have a cut on his face. You know what I'm saying? I see what you're saying about Chiesa, but I don't think so. He actually had blood come down his forehead. I don't know. That's all a bunch of craziness. There was a lot of the mainstream media that was saying it could have been rigged. I don't know. And if it is, I really don't want to figure it out. I'm not no fucking investigative reporter that's trying to expose the UFC and their plots. I'm just here going along with the story. But the Skip Baylesses of the world and like big people were saying, yo, this seemed like a publicity stunt. But I see what you're saying. There's a lot of similarities. You said homie could have used a razor. I don't know about all that. He could have. I don't know. Maybe he was looking at the window, right? Because I guess he was cut right here. I don't know. He was looking at the window. That fucking dolly came. Yeah! I don't know because I don't know. But good. Some Given Sure Name said, hey, nice job on the Aljamain Sterling interview, bro. Much appreciated, good sir. Yes, sir. He's fighting next week. Make sure you guys go check that out if you haven't saw it. But thanks, Given Sure Name. Dark Renaissance said, UFC does praise the WWEs these days a lot compared to how they used to shame them horribly. They got a lot of cross stuff going on. CM Punk coming over, Brock Lesnar coming over, Ronda Rousey going over. I think John Jones was talking about going over. Cain Velasquez has made appearances. Dana White showed up to support Rousey. I mean, they got a lot of like cross promotion, but they're doing that with boxing as well. I think they kind of realize like, yo, we might make more money together than against each other. If I'm telling people not to watch you, if I'm telling my people don't watch your fights, and you're telling your people don't watch my fights, we'd make a lot more money if we were watching each other's shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, think they're making more money by working together than trying to shit on each other. Someone said, what's your opinion on Brendan Schaub's new show? My opinion is I have never seen it. Unfortunately, I'm not like just against it, but I watched the Big Brown Breakdown for the specific fight, like, you know, Poirier versus Gaethje, Big Brown Breakdown. I watched that part, so a lot of the times I skip to the fight talk. But yeah, I haven't seen it pop up on my YouTube recommended lately. I haven't really searched it. I don't even know what it's called, like Below the Belt, if I'm not mistaken, or Below the Belt, Around the Belt, something like that. But yeah, I haven't checked it out, so I don't really have an opinion to give on it. Scroll up a little bit. Let's see, Q8 Pitbull F said, what the fuck? Okay, we're responding to some of the stuff earlier. Someone said, Colby's trying so hard. London in the motherfucking building. Said, Stamina MC. Let's go. What up? What up? Let's go. All right, man. Given your name said, yeah, it's garbage. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for coming through. We did the, you know, recap of last night's fights. We did the preview of upcoming fights this week. Tomorrow, I'm going to do my actual predictions, full main card predictions over there on Patreon. Not main card, the actual Fight Pass prelims and stuff like that over on Patreon. And then I'm going to do the regular main card predictions on YouTube, of course, and a lot of other stuff tomorrow. So thank y'all for coming through. Web PK Vids, Given Sure Name, MMA Addict, Stamina MC, Dark Renaissance, and everybody else that stopped by. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments, because I am out of here. See ya.